tomorrow. Just don't have to take the quiz.
So today, we need to go ahead and look at this on the board. You're going to notice those two vertical lines. What do those mean?
You do them first.
Absolute value.
Absolute value. Absolute value, 3 words. Absolute value means distance from 0. That's why it's always positive. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to plug in 4 for m. And so wherever I see an m, like I see right here, I'm going to put the number 4 because it says to evaluate the absolute value of m plus 6 minus 14 if m equals 4. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and put in 4. So it's going to be 4 plus 6, the absolute value, minus 14. And so now, if I take 4 plus 6, the absolute value signs operate like parentheses. And so I need to take 4 plus 6, which is 10. So the absolute value of 10, what is the absolute value of 10?
10.
The absolute value of 10 is 10. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 14 from that. And when I take 10 minus 14, I get my answer of negative 4. Okay, questions? Yeah.
So what is the point of those absolute value? Does it just have like expense?
It means distance from 0. Okay, and so here I need you to go ahead and solve this one real quick, and then I'm going to send it to your expressions. Okay, evaluate 23 minus 3 minus 4x if x equals 2.
Oh yeah. On the first one that you can see. Oh.
Evaluate 23 minus 3 minus 4x if x equals 2.
It's like the middle.
Yeah, it's wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they were in the exact middle.
It still is.
still is now.
It still
Oh
is.
Okay, so the answer
Oh,
is
I
18.
got it.
Nice job. So let's go ahead and look at that. So what I'm going to do is plug in 2 for x. And so what ends up happening is I get 23 minus absolute value 3 minus 8. Okay, I know that 3 minus 8 is negative 5. So I get 23 minus the absolute value of negative 5. Absolute value of negative 5 is a positive 5. So I end up getting 23 minus 5, which is 18.
Oh, so absolute value always makes it positive?
Absolute value always
You
means
said that
it's
like
positive
you-
because distance is always positive. You can't go a negative distance.
Then you go positive backwards.
Let's go ahead and look at this one. What makes the statement true? So I want you to just look at that and tell me, A, B, C, or D, what makes that statement true?
Option 4.
Yeah.
Oh, neither A, B. Option 4 didn't come out right, sorry. Option 4 is supposed to be both A and B.
Option 4.
That's a good option.
I really convince me.
Sorry, that one didn't come out, but it should be, option 4 should be both A and B.
I thought that was just like it gave me the answers.
Okay, so let's go and see, and it's option D. Now, if you look at this, if I plug the number 5 in here, the absolute value of 5 is 5. If I plug negative 5 in here, the absolute value of negative 5 is 5. So that statement is true. So if you think about that, absolute value actually has 2 possibilities. And so now we're going to get into solving equations of absolute value. So with that same logic in mind, I need to solve that equation. Now, if you remember on the previous time before, previous slide, we said both positive and negative 5 worked. So what we're going to do in order to get rid of the absolute value symbols, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that 17 positive and negative. To get rid of the absolute value signs, I'm going to make the 17 both positive and negative. So how many solutions am I going to get here?
Two.
2. Now, for some of you, what you could do here, I'm going to show you 2 ways. The first way is I'm going to go ahead and state that n plus 5 equals positive 17, or n plus 5 equals negative 17. So now I've got 2 simple equations to solve. What am I going to do over here to solve this for n?
Subtract 5.
Subtract 5, which is what a lot of you did on your quiz today. So n equals what? 12. Okay, let's over here, I'm going to subtract 5 as well. And so what does n equal over here? Negative 22. And so what ends up happening is I get 12 or negative 22. Now notice what it says. It says then graph the solution set. So I'm going to have a number line here. Okay, on my number line, I'm going to have a 0, and then I'm going to have a 12. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I'm going to go by 2s. So this is going to be all the way out at 12. And then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Wow. Just squeeze that one in. Okay, and so here's my dot right here. Here's my dot right here. And there you go. Now, real quick, I want you to think about something. What's the difference between these 2? What's the difference between these 2? 34.
Yeah.
34 and 17. Just a thought. Okay, let's look at this next one. B minus 1 equals negative 3. We'll get to that thought later. Trust me, I just kind of want to plot a scene in your head there. So, what do I do here?
Make it positive or negative. Positive or negative.
Okay, so,
B
but it's
minus
already
1.
negative.
But all the other ones are already positive.
Absolute value. So how do I make this positive or negative?
Like
You put
get
a
rid of
plus.
the
Yeah, you put a little, it's like an X.
Make it
absolute
B plus
value
one.
sign. You put the
You make a chart and you say choose one.
So you told me that the absolute value of 5 is 5, right?
Yeah.
You told me the absolute value of negative 5 is 5.
Yeah.
What's the absolute value of negative 101?
101.
That equals 101.
And then it's 3.
What's the absolute value of 36?
36.
All these answers have what in common?
Positive.
They're all positive. What is this answer?
Negative.
Can I ever get a negative answer from an absolute value?
No.
So what do you guess my answer is here?
Three.
Yeah, good call.
Oh, that
So
was
whenever
easy.
you have an absolute value all by itself equals something negative, can't happen.
It's a donut.
Okay. All right, so let's go and look at this next one here.
It is a
Okay.
donut with a length.
Let's go ahead and look at this next one and see what we end up getting. Okay, y plus 2, the absolute value equals 4. So how do I undo absolute value?
Get rid of the
Plus or minus. Yep, so y plus 2 equals plus or minus 4. So really, that means that y plus 2 equals what?
4.
Positive 4, or y plus 2 equals?
Negative 4.
So my first solution, I'm going to do what with the 2? Subtract 2, so I get y to equal 2. Or, what does y equal over here? Subtract 2, so y equals negative 6. Once again, let's go ahead and plot a number line. So I've got a 0 here. Here's a 2, negative 2, negative 4, negative 6. All I'm going to do then is put dots on either of those.
And 4
Okay.
plus 4 equals 8.
What's the difference between these?
8.
8. What's the relationship between the 4 and the
4
8?
times 2 equals 8.
4 times 2 equals 8. Okay, so now,
Oh.
let's go ahead and look at this problem here real quick. It says, for a company to invest in a product, they must believe they will receive a 12% return on investment plus or minus 3%. Write an equation to find the least and the greatest ROI they believe they will receive. Yep.
You would do the absolute value of 12 equals plus or minus 3.
No,
Oh,
the
it's not.
absolute value of no. 12
They must believe they will receive a 12% return on investment. I'm going to leave that right here. You can go ahead and start working on your assignment. We'll finish this tomorrow, but here's your assignment. Oops, keep skipping. There you go. Here's your assignment for tomorrow, page 106, 14 through 42, the evens. So, if you want to go ahead and start working on those, we'll continue with that tomorrow.